Hello learners. In our previous lecture, we have seen placing components. Okay, so let's quickly brush it up. Okay, so let's say if we want to place any plantings or any trees in your current project, so what you will follow? So in order to place any plantings or any trees in your project, all you need to go to the architecture tab, select the component, place the component. Okay, so from here we can have various kinds of tree plantations that can be used. So let's go for common apple here, and you can see I'm able to place the plantings into my project. Okay, so when you go for 3D, okay, so you can see the trees are now placed in your project. So if you go for a realistic view, so you can see a more detailed view here. Okay, see, you can see a more detailed view of the plantings or the trees that you have placed. So I'll go back to shaded again. So in this way, you can place various kinds of components as per your requirement. Okay, so in this lecture, we'll go ahead like with the components part only. So next part here is the model in place. So what is model in place? Model in place is nothing but creating a component that is unique, like that is not already existing in your families. Okay, so we can have like a one-off family, like we can means it's not necessary to always create a family for like every unique item. Okay, so for that purpose you can go for a model in place. So model in place is nothing but you can create a basic shape of the component that is required. Okay, so you'll understand it in more detail as we go through this concept. Okay, like actually hands on or modeling it. Okay, so in order to start, we'll just need to click model in place here. So first we need to define, okay, define the category. So as we are like we can have multiple categories. Like if you want the component to be placed in a category of door, you can select it. If you want component to be in the category of columns, you can select it, or you can have any of the category as mentioned in the list here. Okay, so let's go for generic and hit OK. And you need to name the component. So let's keep it default generic model one. Okay, so now you can see we have few stuffs to play with. Okay, so whenever you are dealing with model in place, you have these five stuffs to play with. Okay, these are nothing but the solid forms, and here we have void forms. Okay, so void also contains extrusion, that is here. We can see void blend here. Okay, so this is solid blend. Void revolve, we have a solid revolve. Void sweep, we have a solid sweep. We have a void sweep blend, we have solid sweep blend. Okay, so these are this elements or the tools that are related with the solid, and we have a void form. So when you click on the drop down here, we have all the tools that are related with void. Okay, so from here we can build or we can generate any model means we can generate any component using the model in place. Okay, so these are very important whenever you are dealing with any model in place component. So let's check all of them one by one. So let's begin with extrusion. Okay, so what is extrusion? As you click or as you hover on the extrusion tool here, it's defining as creates a solid element by extruding a 2D shape or profile. Okay, so as the video suggests at the bottom, they have created a basic profile or a basic shape and we can extrude it. Okay, so let's check it out. So let's try creating a basic box to begin. Okay, so let's go for extrusion and just create a small rectangle. Okay, so this is nothing but the extrusion. You can see we have a start and end point as well. So let's keep it as it is for now and hit OK. So a rectangular box is formed. Okay, here the rectangular box is formed. And now if you click finish, you will be out of the model in place command. Okay, so if you press OK here, like basically the generic model one is now created, that is fully finished. Okay, so let's take a section here. We have a section here, go to view. So this is nothing but the generic model that we have created. It's rectangular and you can adjust the shape here. Like you can change the shape here by changing or using the shape handles that are available. Okay, not only with the height, with the width as well. Okay, so in this way you can control the shape of the given extrusion. Okay, so this is nothing but the extrusion. You can even control the shape from the plan as well. Okay, so you have the shape handles. So using the shape handles, you can control the box that you have created. That is nothing but extrusion. Okay, so you can have the shape change in 3D as well. You have the access to all the shape handles, so you can change the element likewise. So this is nothing but the basic extrusion. Okay, the basic extrusion. As you can see, by changing the shape, we have a volume here. Okay, so as I'm changing the shape, there is automatically changing the volume as well. Okay, so this is a basic, just a simple kind of extrusion. So let's go back to level 0 and just edit this one. Okay, so let's edit and select this one, edit extrusion. Whenever you need to edit the like the developed or the created model in place element, you always need to select the element. Like I am into the editing mode, okay, but still I am unable to edit the boundary of this, because we can create multiple kinds of forms into by remaining in the same like same model. Okay, like same generic model, like we are now using the generic model one. So we can create multiple extrusion, we can create multiple blends, or we can have mixture of blend, extrusion, revolve into a single model. Okay, so because of that we are unable to edit the uh, created extrusion. For that you need to select the extrusion, then only you are able to edit it. Okay, unless you are not selecting the element or the extrusion, you are unable to select it or edit it, sorry, rather. So whenever you need to edit the boundary here, all you need to select the element, go to extrusion. So let's create another rectangular, like in between. Let's go for any odd shape. So whenever you click, unless you click on finish mode, you are still into the model in place tool. Okay, so the interface is still of the model in place. As you can see, there are no architectural tab, structural tab, etc., etc., that is available, because you are still into the model in place tool. Okay, so unless you finish it, you are still into the command. So let's finish it, and now you see we have a hollow rectangular formed. Okay, so you can have the thickness changed or the shape changed depending on your requirement. Okay, you can have it resized using the shape handles. Okay, so this is the basic extrusion that we have created. Not only with the rectangle, you can go for any shape required. So edit in place again, select the extrusion, edit extrusion, let's delete it, go for a round, let's create a small circle here, hit OK and finish. Now let's go to 3D. You can see this, the extrusion that we have created is now in a circular form. Okay, this is a circular extrusion. Okay, so this extrusion is like spanning, like it's moving in vertical direction. Okay, right, in the Z direction. But what if you need to create a round or a cylindrical object that extends or that can be extended in the horizontal direction, not in the vertical direction? So for that, you need to have a basic or a good understanding of how reference plane works. Okay, this is created here because we have set the reference plane to any level or any plan view. Okay, so the basics of creating or the element that would be worked is basically the reference plane that you are using. So the current reference plane was set to any floor plan. So that's why we are able to control the geometry for this cylinder in Z direction. Okay, so let's go to architectural tab, set. Now you can see by default or the existing work plane was set to level 0. That's why our element was moving, like we are able to extend the element in Z direction, as we have set the plane in XY direction. So the movement would be in the perpendicular direction, that is the Z direction. So what if we need a cylinder that extends in horizontal direction? Okay, so for that, what you need to do, you need to create a reference plane. Okay, you need to create a reference plane. So let's create it somewhere here. Okay, so let's create a reference plane here. So this is my reference plane. Let's move this section here. Okay, so whenever, like, this is my reference plane, and all I need to create a, like, set the reference plane first, and all I need to create an extrusion here. So I want my extrusion to move in this direction. Okay, in this like horizontal direction. So for that, what I need to do, I'll go to architecture tab, set, pick a plane. Okay, pick a plane. Okay, now the Revit asks you to select a reference that can be used as a work plane. So I will select this reference line or this reference plane as a reference. Okay, so I will go to like this, like just close here for a second. So this is my section 4. Okay, so whenever you are selecting a reference plane, you need to be present at a view that is parallel to it. Okay, so let's go to set again, select a plane. Okay, let's select this reference plane, go to section 4. Now let's go for adding a extrusion. So go for model in place, let's go for generic only, generic model 2. Now you can go for extrusion, round. Okay, so let's keep it 700 for now. Okay, finish. Now you can see whenever I go to level 0, I'm able to extend the cylinder horizontally. Okay, this is all because the kind of reference plane, or the work plane rather, the work plane that you are setting. So this was the element we have created by selecting or setting the work plane as a floor plan, and this is the element, like both elements are virtually the same. Okay, except the size. Okay, this one is vertical and this one is horizontal. Okay, this is all because we have set the work plane in a fashion by which we can have the control for this extrusion horizontally. Okay, so this is how you can have the work plane used in order to create any component or any custom component rather, using model in place. So this is all about basic extrusion. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check all the other forms. So let's keep it for now. Okay, so now let's go to model in place again. So let's take a generic model. Okay, let's let the name be defined default. It okay. Now what is blend? Okay, so blend is nothing but there are two bases, that is a base and a top. You can have different shape as the video you can see in the preview. You can have different shape at the base and different shape at the top. So Revit will generate a solid based on the given outlines that you have created. So let's take an example for it as well. So let's go for blend. So here we have edit top. Okay, so you like first we need to create a sketch. So let's go for a basic rectangle here. I have created a rectangle here, like just for reference. Okay, so now let's go to top and let's create a round shape here. So as you see, as I have finished sketching the base, you can see now the preview here has shifted to top. As we have selected top, so here we will be able to see edit base because we are currently editing the top. Okay, so edit the top by adding a random shape here and hit OK. So go to 3D. You can see the element is now formed in this fashion. The base we have created was rectangle. Here you can see it's rectangle, and the top we have created was a square, sorry, a round shape. So there are two outlines that are clubbed together, and this kind of form is generated. Okay, so blend basically combines two different forms. Like if you have a different shape at the bottom and different shape at the top, you can have a form generated using blend in this scenario. Okay, so whenever you select the element, you have option for editing the top, editing the base separately. Okay, so if you need to edit the top, go for edit top and go to any plan view or maybe top in the 3D. And if you need any different kind of shape here, so let's create it, maybe this one. Okay, I'm just creating a random shape here. Let's split it here and make sure there are no loop formed. Okay, okay, so this is a odd shape. Hit okay, and now you check the 3D. The shape is a bit weird. Okay, so whenever you need to form a model or a component that has a different profile at the bottom and different profile at the top, always go for the blend. Okay, so you can have the offset or the top and bottom changed using the properties here or using the shape handles. Okay, in this way you can have the blend used. So let's finish it. Okay, so here we have a blend. So nextly, moving ahead, go to model architecture tab, model in place, let it be a generic. Okay, model 4. Now you will see what is what is revolve. Okay, so what you need basically, revolve is nothing but you need a reference. Okay, and you can have a 2D profile created that would be revolved around that reference which you are selecting. Okay, so in order to create a revolve, like first you need to go to any reference or any view. Okay, so this is the reference plane. Okay, so now let's set the work plane to this plane. Okay, now this is set. Let's go to level, like this section 1 is okay. No, maybe the section 4 is okay. Okay, so let's go to the architectural tab, model in place, generic model. Okay, now let's go to revolve, pick a plane. This is my plane. Go to section 4. Okay, now you can just need to create a boundary. Okay, So let's first create a boundary. Like my boundary would be something like this. You can have a curve or arc, anything. So let's do a curve here. Okay. So this is how you can define a profile basically. And whenever you are satisfied with the boundary, all you need to do click on axis. Okay. So this is my axis here and hit OK. So whenever you go to finish, check in 3D. Okay. So basically the 2D profile or the 2D boundary that you have created will be revolved, like as the name suggests, it will be revolved along the axis line that you are creating. Okay. So in this way, you can have anything created, like the shapes that are similar to these kind of things can be created using revolve. Okay. So let's recap it. Edit in place, go to view. Okay. So what we have done here, we have created a profile. Okay. We don't need to create the full profile. Okay. We don't need to create a full profile. Only we need to create a profile that is like that can be mirrored by revolving the profile along the selected axis. Okay, we need only a sample here. This profile would be revolved along this line. This line is the axis line that we have sketched. Okay, so if I move my axis line somewhere here by keeping a gap here and hit OK, so there would be a hollow gap created. Okay, see. Okay, go to revolve edit. Okay, so this is the profile, and this profile would be revolved along the around the axis line that you are sketching. In this way, you can have different kinds of shapes that are similar and that can be applied using the revolve tool. Okay, so now let's check the other ones. Go to architectural tab, component, model in place, select the generic model. Okay, generic model 5. Now it's time for checking the sweep. The sweep is nothing but we will just first give a path. We will select a path, and for the path, we will assign a profile. The profile would travel along the path that we have defined. Okay, so let's have an example for this as well. Go to sweep. We have sketch path and peak path option. Okay, so we'll have to check them both. For now, let's go for sketch path. Okay, so sketch the path. For now, like we'll go for a curve one or maybe a like a zigzag one. Okay, so like here we'll go here. Let's go for a zigzag pattern here. Okay, so whenever you have completed the sketching the path, you can see there is a red dot present. So red dot is nothing but where you can place the profile. Okay, so whenever you are satisfied with the path, go to finish, and then you have either you can select the existing profile or you can sketch a new one. Okay, so you can go for sketching the profile. You need a section or a view that is parallel to this line. Okay, so wherever there is a red dot, we have a line, a reference line here. So by default, you need to have a view that is parallel to this. Okay, so this is the red dot and this is the line that is accompanied with the red dot. So the view that is parallel to this is the section 4. So I'll go for section 4, and here you can see there is a red dot here. Now you need to define a profile here. Okay, so let's create a profile. Just for random, I have created this profile, and make sure it's a proper loop. So my profile is set. Go to click OK, finish. Can't create shape the because the shape here won't be properly transferred. Like the shape here is exceeding this line. Okay, this line. So let's create a smaller shape. Like edit the profile. Let's create a little bit smaller one. So I'll just move the entire thing. Something like this. Okay, so this is, for example, my profile. Now let's check. Okay, now we are able to place it. Okay, so this was the path that we have created, and the profile that we have created at the red dot would be like the same profile would travel along the whole path that you have created. Okay, in this way. The error that we have found earlier when we have sketched the profile, because the profile that we have created was exceeding this part. So whenever the profile was traveling through this section, it was unable to form the proper junction here. So because of that, their error was it was populated. So whenever like if we have adjusted the profile, now we are able to have a proper junctions formed. So we are not facing any kinds of error. Like finish, you can see the sweep has applied. So basic application of sweep generally is near the wall elements. Okay, so whenever you need to create any decoration or a decorative trims or maybe some decorative stuffs for your wall, you can go for using the sweep. So what you can do, like for example, I've used a or basically I have created a wall here. Okay, as you can see here, I've created a wall. Let's take a section here. Like I will have this section only. So go for 3D. Now we will see sweep by using the 3D pick plane. So go for architecture, component, like component, model in place. Go for generic model. Okay, sweep. Now you can see you can use pick plane. Pick plane can be used in 3D only. Okay, 3D only. So whenever we are in 3D, we are able to pick the faces or the edges of the wall. Okay, so I will use this edge. So as you have seen, we have while we were sketching, a pink line and a red dot was formed. Similarly, whenever you pick an edge, okay, so my edge is like the start is here and the end is here, so that much portion only the path is created. So I'll just finish. Now let's go for editing the profile. We can create any profile. For that we need to go for a section that is parallel to the red dot, and here we can create any small profile for now. Okay, so let's create something like this. Okay, and let's close it here. Use the trim. So our profile has been created. Let's finish it and go to 3D. Now check. We can have a sweep here. Okay, so this is the sweep that we have created. Hit finish. So in this way, you can have this sweep generated. So whenever I change the height of my wall, the sweep element that was created is also moving along the wall because the edge that we have chosen was the top of the wall. So whenever the wall is moved, the sweep will also move along with the wall. Okay. So in this way, you can create sweep. So now the last one that is remaining, go to the architectural tab, component, model in place, select the generic model. Okay. And now the remaining part is sweep blend. Okay, so sweep blend is also a form of sweep. Okay, here also we need to define a path. The change here is for sweep we only had one profile, for the sweep blend, as it's a combination of sweep and blend. Okay, we have sweep here and we have blend also. Blend has a property, like the function of blend is it combines two different profiles. Okay, and sweep follows a path for which you can assign a profile. So it's combination of blend and sweep, so it's swept blend. Okay, swept blend. So it has two properties, that it has path that is similar to sweep, and it has profiles that we can assign two profiles as we have followed for blends. Okay, blend, sorry, blends. So let's check it out. So for sweep, we need to sketch path as we have sketched for sweep as well, sweep blend. Okay, so here we have the first point here, the second point here. Okay, now press OK. Now we can see there are two profiles, that is profile 1 and profile 2. Okay, so whenever you select profile 1, then the pink color is highlighted here, and whenever you select profile 2, the similarly a pink color is highlighted here. So whenever you need to work on any profile, you need to either select the select the profile 1 or second profile whenever you want to change anything or add a profile at the respective ends. Okay, so let's go for profile 1, edit profile. Let's go for section 4. Here also we need a section view that is parallel to the lines that are seen along with the red dots. Okay, go to view. So we have our sweep blend here. Let's add a basic rectangular profile here. Okay, so I have a rectangle here. Hit OK. So my first profile is now okay. Now let's go for second and edit. It's similarly, it's parallel to level for section 4. So I can go for section 4 and I can add a round here. Okay, I will add a round here and go to finish. Okay, now my both profiles are set. That is the first profile is rectangular and second one is a round figure. Okay, so whenever you are done with the two profiles at the either ends, let's go to finish and go to 3D, finish it and go to 3D. Now you can see there was a round at one end and there was a rectangle at other end, and throughout the path it's changing in this fashion. Okay, so it's basically combination of both blend and sweep. Okay, so in this way you can have a different combination like blend and sweep used using swept blend. Okay. You can even assign few materials as well, like for this one. So let's select the element. Okay, so you don't have any material currently here, but if you want to add a material here, all you need to go to edit in place, select the element, and now see here we have, whenever you select edit the element, you are into the model in place tool. Okay, not in your Revit canvas. Okay, you are into your model in place tool. Now whenever you are editing the extrusion, you can select the material as well. So here, from here, we can select the material that we need to require. Let's say aluminum here. Okay, and finish. You can see the material is now changed to aluminum. Okay, as there is color difference here, like it's the default material, and here we have aluminum used. Similarly, you can have the material given for all the other shapes or all the other model in place components that you have created. So let's take an example like maybe of this sweep. Okay, so like when you go to editing place, here we can see few more stuffs. Okay, like it can host a rebar. If you just tick this on, it can host a rebar. Okay, and if you want to change the material, you can just select the profile or the element, and you can have the material changed. So if you want the elements to be visible in a particular view or in a particular detail level, you can do that as well. So let's say I want to see or make the sweep visible only when the detail is fine. So I'll just untick this coarse and medium and hit OK and finish. So as my detail level is now set to fine, this sweep is visible. But whenever I change this to coarse, the sweep has disappeared. Okay, so bring it back. Let's change the level to fine, detail level to fine. So the sweep is once again visible. To undo it, let's select the element, edit in place, select the element again, and go to visibility graphics override and select the detail levels. All we have selected. So hit OK, and the sweep element would be visible whenever the detail level is coarse, medium, and fine. Okay, and even you can control the element visibility with respect to like the floor plans or reflected ceiling plans, whether it should be visible in left and front and back elevation, left and right elevation, likewise. Okay, as we have seen the control visibility control, like use based on the detail level, you can have the visibility control based on whether it should be visible in floor plan or if ceiling plans or any of the elevations. Okay, now hit OK, finish. So in this way, whenever I change my detail level to coarse again, it's now visible again. Okay, so you can control the visibility based on the editing that you are able to make. Okay, so in this way, you can create different kinds of shapes or shapes using model in place. Okay, so in the next lecture, we will see the void forms that can be created. Thank you for watching.